Pro Group Racing presents Show Us Your Tips, February 9th preview show looking at midweek racing from Warwick Farm and Sandown. Beaver, productive weekend for you?
I think didn't do too bad, did I, mate?
Yeah, found a couple at nice prices, Miss 500 and, is that her name, Miss 500? Something
Yep.
500.
And Miss 500.
Frosty in the last, finished off well.
Yeah, both my value bets, mate, got the chockies. So I was pretty happy with that. And my favourite or best bet of the day in Sydney won as well, and my other one was scratched. Yep. So 3 from 3 for the punters there, if they were following the Beaver.
Yeah.
So pretty happy about that, and got a spattering of other ones in between very nicely.
Anything to really take out of the weekend before we get into this preview?
No, not a great deal to take out of the weekend, to be brutally honest, mate. I was gave a good tip to the Daggy there on Rich Lister in Brisbane. And then my other one, Paladas, was an absolute shocking ride. Sometimes I just wonder what these guys are doing. It was trotting behind him, pulled to the outside, couldn't get a run. And if it stuck to the fence, it would have taken the run the winner got, and probably Winsby 3 lengths.
Yeah, that was up there with the ride last week where he got off the fence and on the fence on Friday. Who was it? Reece Jones on one of them. Anyway. But a good weekend all round. I would suggest maybe we're looking for the fresh blood in the 2-year-olds. I think we saw both debut winners won in Sydney and Melbourne. So I'll think that early 2-year-old form might not be quite up to what we're looking at. I'm looking fresh, I think, heading into Blue Diamond, and then maybe fresh again looking into the Slipper. And that obviously means we have to then work out where Coolangatta exactly lines up. But all interesting and all to come, I guess. We've got Group 1 racing this Saturday. So we'll look towards that later in the week. No other horses to follow or anything?
No real other horses to follow. Hard to get a line on some of the small fields that saw the likes of Generation win. There wasn't a real guide. I think it was Worthily just got home. So nothing that really stood out, I dare say.
No, I think everyone that we expected to win, like Paul Ile, is probably the only sprint in that race, went straight to the front and won, so you can't. Converge was okay behind. I thought that Sebenak looked a bit stylish in the 2-year-old at Caulfield, but apart from that, I think it's just business as usual, and we look towards, I believe it's a CF4 this week, so we'll see how we go there, but to be good. We'll kick off at Warwick Farm tomorrow, though, where currently it's a heavy track. I think it's going to be a decent enough day tomorrow. Might get the soft, but we'll see how much of these rain and squalls come through again. We kick off with the first. So I've treated it as, these horses that likely cut out of the ground and fair for now. You've got any different thoughts?
No, mate, I think that's a fair thought, but I did want to say that I thought it was pretty average fields, to be brutally honest.
Oh, terrible. And Sandown's worse.
Yeah, they were pretty tough fields. I've got a couple of races here that I just probably wiped. But I think there's an odd winner here or there, and there's a bit of value around.
Maybe we'll look forward for the next couple of weeks, and if the Friday night stuff's better than this, we'll save the powder till Friday instead of trying to dig through some of this. But we do kick off with the Maiden for the 2-year-olds over 1,300 metres. How are you going to start the day?
Yeah, I'm going to start with the favourite, Robusto. I thought it'll be a lot further improved from its first up run. I think with natural improvement, it should be too good for these.
Yeah, I thought the market was right. It was outside lead there on debut, or last start, I should say. First up, second prep. And J-Mac goes on, should be in the right spot here, and I'm not sure of the depth to this. But the market's pretty much right, as I said. To his credit, nice trials and the main danger. Race 2 is a 3-year-old maiden, and this is one of the ones we're talking about. This has form from everywhere, and I struggled. Did you have any idea in this race?
I didn't have much of an idea here, mate, but if I was going to give one for the punters. I was looking at round number 4, Stromboli from the Hawk stable, about the $8 mark. I thought both its first 2 runs have been honest. It's had a bit of a let up since then, and tough runs, but drawn a bit wide, but might be the one to follow.
Yeah, I don't have much to add. I struggled with this. I had 3 looks at Fazabil, so I no idea. Race 3 is a benchmark 68 over the 1,400 meters, where I've got a little bit of a better idea here. I did stick with Paternal, which was a nice enough win on debut. Long searching run on the inside there to win. J-Mac goes on now, and I think hard to beat. But Benno is a scary horse. It's coming off group racing, chasing Profondo. Obviously looks good here. The trials were both very quiet, which might suggest he's ready to go. Obviously Bowman booked, so maybe the watch horse on the day because he could blow them away. So they're the 2. I didn't look at anything else in the race, to be honest. What do you think?
Yeah, funny you should say that. That's exactly the way I looked at it. They were the 2 that I came to, but I just flipped them the other way. I just went on potential Benno from the 1 gate. Just thought it might get the better run. Huey Bowman has stuck with this and rode it in both trials, which I think was a good pointer. And as you said, it's ran in group racing, chasing some good horses. But Paternal was very good first up, and does have J-Mac. So Benno just in front of Paternal, but you could probably back both and cover your bets.
I think the prices are fair enough there. I think the Union horse will be a bit of a bunny, and one of these 2 will run it down. So
yeah, you could split your bet 25-75 either way and still get a reasonable result on the race.
Yep. Race 4 is a staying contest, benchmark 72. So apparently the highest rated race on the card. I don't know if they're interested in it. I end up going to Greek Hero, the top weight, Saturday back to midweek. Hit the line pretty well, both those races behind Casino Kid and Too Much to Bear. And I just struggled to split the rest of the sort of provincial and midweek stuff behind it. So had it on top without any great wanting to dive in. What have you thought?
Matt, I lift the bat and let the ball go through the keeper here. This is awful race. Thankfully one of these will get a win that most haven't had in some time now. But this was just too hard for me. I just didn't like it, and put them all in a hat and pull one out if you have to have a bet.
Yeah, very cool. The other benchmark 72 on the card is over 1,200 meters. Is race number 5, where again 2 chances. I thought no real surprises here. Look, Roots was pretty good last prep. Resumes here. The trials have been okay. J-Mac goes on, bit of a rinse and repeat for the day, and hard to beat from Beep Test, who might have ability. Last trial was good too. So they're the 2 lightly raced. Whether I want to back both, I'm not quite sure. But Roots on top at this stage. What have you made of it?
Yeah, I've got Roots on top as well for all the same reasons. I thought last prep it was pretty good. Gets the right draw here, has McDonald aboard, and I didn't see too many dangers here. So I was pretty happy to back Roots in this.
The 6th is the benchmark 72 over the 1,400 meters. Big field. Anything you want to single out?
Look, I've gone for Score. McDonald aboard again. Nisham. Barrier has me a little bit worried, but look, I think its Melbourne form's been pretty good. They've brought it to Sydney here, new trainer here, hoping it's been well prepared for this. I think the 1,400 suits, and this is a pretty weak field, so I'm got Score on top. Main danger, Bethencourt resuming.
I suspect it's not going to run, but if it does, Cafe Royale, I assume he's waiting for an apprentice to claim. But I think can roll forward and maybe give your sights set back to Saturday here, back on the wet. But gate 17 and no jockey suggests he's probably coming out. I looked at the Score, a little bit icky, finding Melbourne form coming here, so it wasn't quite sure. I think it's too short. I respect the fact you're on top, but I think you might get a little bit better. And I had a couple looks at Un-American, actually, who can run you a race, I think, in the 20s. But beyond that, a lot of these just aren't winners. And just getting bogged down going any further, I thought. We finished the last, which sees the resuming Brooks Battle of a year off. It was a talented horse now with Bjorn. Do you like it here?
I'm gonna tip it here. I like the stable change. Look, they've persisted with it to get it back from here from a long spell. It's on the right track here. Being Warwick Farm, it's drawn well with 6. It's got McDonald aboard. Look, I think, yeah, you'd have to certainly respect it first up. Hasn't really been tested in the trials too much, but that doesn't worry me all that much. Yeah, I think it can run well.
Oh, I've got it on top too. It was a talented horse. Obviously, year off is always a concern. We saw one actually win off a year off a couple of weeks back. But 2 nice wins last prep. And you've covered off. The first trial was quite good. Second trial was completely dead. So either suggest that they're happy with where it's at and it's coming here, or maybe it's not. But I've put on top, and I think on potential might be one of the better bets on the card. I had the main danger as I see things, who is honest and is going to sit on pace and give you something to cheer if you're looking for something else. Otherwise, tricky race. Something like Deep Crystal, I thought was over the odds at 30s, whatever that means. So that's my thoughts there. I'm going to make Brooks Battle for progretracing.com.au my best, actually, because I struggled to really stamp anything else, apart from obviously a few races you can stamp 2, but I didn't have any where I could really stamp 1. And if it runs, I think Cafe Royale might be my value on the card. What have you done, Beaver?
Well, I actually had Brooks Battle as my value. So
oh, good. There you go.
I thought around the 650 mark was decent value, and I had my best as Roots. I do think it'll be hard to beat in race 5, number 10.
Beautiful. We head to Sandown Hillside. Good and true. It's going to how it's going to play. It should be swoopers. We do get the occasional up the inside days, even on Hillside, but I'm treating this as a run on track for the day. Kicking off with a maiden over the 1,300 meters, where I've been with Ocean Raider the last couple. It finds its race now around the even money mark. It should lob straight onto the pace, and if not, leaders back. And if it gets even, like I think it can win this one finally. I'm not going to add much more. What have you done?
Mate, I've flipped it. I've gone for Forbidden City. Resuming here, I think it's just got a bit more ability than this. It's run some good races in better company. Resuming here, I think it can be very hard to beat. And so, yeah, for me, Forbidden City.
Fair call. Yeah, Blake McDougall is a jockey I love backing too. He rode one at 60s on the weekend there, which I sadly decided against having something small on. But now he's hooking up with the likes of Peter Moody. Definitely follow him, particularly at meetings like this. Race 2 is a 1,000-meter benchmark 64, where I've gone with the favourite on top again. Morning Melody, a couple of nice wins early last prep. Chase Sartorial Splendor in a runaway as it bolted off in a jump out and looked to hit the line pretty well. Claim for Cartwright, hard to beat here. What have you done in a small field?
Yeah, Morning Melody is a good thing here, and we'll be winning this way better than these.
Race 3, tricky little benchmark 70 over the mile. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I stuck with the favourite here, Attractable. It was pretty good winning first up, won quite comfortably. I think it was at the Hills at Mornington. Was a nice little win when won by about 5 lengths when it was started favourite, and then backed that up with a really nice win at Sandown. Again, in a decent quality race, and then went to Flemington and was only beaten less than 3 lengths by Decent Rain, who's got a bit of ability. I think that stands it in good stead for a race like this, and again, it's probably going to get the run of the race and prove too good for these.
Yeah, on top for me as well. You've covered off everything I needed to say there. The only concern is a field like this potentially might be one of those races where they all line up and the leader gets too easy a time, would be my only real concern. Not quite sure who that leader might be. Maybe Frostwood from the wide gate, but Attractable on top for now, and probably a reasonable enough bet, to be honest. Race 4, 1,400 metre class, what is it? Class 1? 400 meter class 1, where I have gone with the Yulon colours actually here. Diamondback resuming off a nice enough win out wide. Struggled to really want to stand anything else here, so I thought the $10 looked a decent each way bet here for the gelded Chris Waller horse. First up, second prep. What have you thought of this?
No, I've gone for footlights here. It's been gelded. Won its maiden quite well at Cranbourne, and then probably should have won its second start as well when didn't have a lot of luck. Then they stepped it up and took it to Flemington in some pretty quality races there. Didn't quite perform, but now it's been gelded and brought back here. I'm expecting this to be charging down the outside at the end.
No, fair call. Yeah, it was second pick for me. Race 5. Speaking of which, those colours, I forgot you trialled quite well. I saw yesterday. Follow that horse. I think it can win. I'm just looking now through this. Can win something like a Doncaster there. I think over a mile, get the outside. Can win a nice race this prep. On a side note, but let's get to race 5 for now. 1,000 meter benchmark 64, where I am with Along the River. Back to the scene of a very nice win. A couple of starts back, went to town where it wasn't too far off Clemenceau and Squid Game, a couple of nice horses. And I don't think this is a tough field at all. Jamie Carr on, and should be very hard to beat. What have you made of it?
Yeah, I concur. I think it'll be super hard to beat, and probably control is Jamie Carr. There is only one danger, that's Island Edition resuming. It's got some decent form as well. It won its first start and won convincingly, and then put in some consistent efforts, but maybe Along the River just with the fitness edge here.
Beautiful. Race 6 is the 1,800 metre 64. What have you done here?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
I had no idea.
No, that's fair enough.
This is one that I was happy to let go.
Yeah, under sufferance. Not so much under sufferance. I had Ricolto on top. I thought he hit the line pretty well last start. The form last prep, chasing the likes of Canadian Spice in Sydney, stacks up okay here. I'll not tell you much because it is favourite. But, yeah, do I want to charge into it? Again, not really. But on top for me. The mile benchmark 70 is race number 7, where I've got a little bit of a better feel here. I like our Moderna coming back to Sandown. Was okay in town. I like the fact that Josh Richards goes on as a bit of a stronger rider. Before that was very impressive winning here. 2 starts back, chasing down Yulon Code, who won last week. And you get an each-way price here. Obviously, I thought the main danger was the Sydney form Honey Creeper, but it's now sort of just doing the same thing it has been in Sydney, down in Melbourne, and flopping about a bit. What have you done?
Yeah, I thought that was a good summation, but I've gone for Sweet Carolina.
You had a feel for it last time.
I'm willing to, I'm willing to forgive that run. I think it's she never settled, and just that took a bit out of her, and that's what meant that faded in the final parts of that race.
Mm-hmm.
But a few starts back, it was pretty strong to the line at Flemington. I think it can probably run better here and might be better suited here. And as long as it settles, can finish in the finish.
Cool. And race 8 is a benchmark 70 over the 1,400. How are you finishing the day?
Yeah, good little race, this one. Probably the best race of the day, to be honest. Some horses here with some good form. I've just slightly gone with Logan Street Lion. I really liked the way it attacked the line the last 2 starts, but particularly last start, it got held up for a bit. But when it got the split, really attacked the line hard. Probably doesn't want to get to the lead too early, but I'm pretty comfortable backing again. And maybe I'm speaking through my kick, but winning form's good form, and I'll back up again on Logan Street Lion.
I'm going to go with another winner in the race, Pal Dioro. I thought it owned them at Caulfield last start. It was pretty impressive. Can maybe it come from enough time here, probably just sitting off eluding and give you a sight. It's going quite well, this prep. Am scared of Logan Street. Like you said, I think it's got some upside, so interested to see how that progresses now third up. But they're the main 2 for me. I don't have much more to add on the race. your best and value for progroupracing.com.au. Of course, check them out for their free tips, extensive guides, and much more at Sandown.
Yeah, my value bet comes up in race 7, number 1, Sweet Carolina. I thought it was about the best value I could find on the day. And my best bet of the day comes up in race 2, number 1, Morning Melody.
Very good. I'm going to make my best along the river. I think it sets up quite nicely back to Sandown. And my value are Moderna in race number 4, I believe. No, race 6. One of the races it's in. 7? Yes. So race 7, number 3, our Moderna.
Sure, you're telling the story, mate.
Yeah, no, I know. I need to go through after card. Let's move on from that. Let's get to up north. Anything up there?
Mate, yeah, I've got a couple up north. I can't let us down. I got one of mine was scratched on the weekend, but a winner and an unlucky, whatever it was, second or third. Still not happy about that, as you can see. But at Ipswich, race 4, number 1, Ostermeyer. I think it'll be hard to beat. Now it's broken through. Value in race 5, number 2, Bella Royale. I think it can give a good sight. And then my other bet comes up in race 8, number 11, Fall on a Star.
Beautiful. Good job, Beaver. Love your work as always. We'll be back on Thursday night to look towards the first Group 1 of the season, the C4 Stakes over 1,400 metres, as well as some good racing at Randwick. Take care, punters. Good punning tomorrow, and we'll talk to everyone very shortly.